6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. Updated announcement on isolation orders in Colombo. Cinemas to reopen under strict safety guidelines. Over 41,000 COVID-19 cases confirmed in Sri Lanka so far. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll hits 191. The pilgrimage period will commence on the Poya Day, which falls tomorrow. The police requests the people in isolated areas to adhere to the quarantine rules and regulations and cooperate with the health authorities. In news overseas, COVID, South Africa passes 1 million infections as cases surge. In sports news, South Africa make merry on depleted Sri Lankan bowling attack. As per the head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak, the isolation orders on the following areas have been lifted from 5 a.m. today. Dam Street, Kesselwatta and the Maradana Police Divisions. In the Slave Island Police Division, the Wakanda and Hunupitiya Grama Niladari Divisions. Mayura Place of the Vallavatta Police Division. In the Boralla Police Division, the Halgahavatta and Kalipulivatta Grama Niladari Divisions. The Laksanda 7 housing scheme of the Vallampitiya Police Division. Meanwhile, the following areas are newly declared isolated areas and the isolation orders will come into effect from 5 a.m. tomorrow. In the Kesselwatta Police Division, the Aluthkade West and Aluthkade North Grama Niladari Divisions. The areas declared as isolated in the remaining districts will continue to remain under isolation until further notice. The Army Commander further stated that the following areas have been declared as isolated areas with immediate effect. In the Ahaliyagoda AGA Division, Minnana, Vilegoda, Yakudagoda, Asgagula North and Bopatta. In the Godakavela AGA Division, the Rakwana Town, Rakwana North, Rakwana South, Masimbula and Kottala. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has advised to reopen cinemas in strict compliance with the COVID-19 safety guidelines. The film industry has been vulnerable due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic as both production and consumption of its output has stopped completely, the Prime Minister's office points out. Following a careful deliberation with artists including film producers, directors and members of the Film Association, the Minister Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Prime Minister Rajapaksa has permitted the reopening of cinemas under strict new health protocols. The decision has been taken as a measure to revive the entertainment industry. However, cinemas in isolated areas will remain closed. Prime Minister Rajapaksa stressed the importance of enforcing strict sanitization rules within the cinema premises and requested the public to strictly adhere to the COVID-19 guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health and Safety until we return to new normalcies. The COVID-19 infections registered in Sri Lanka went past 41,000 as 212 more persons tested positive yesterday. The Government Information Department stated that 206 of the newly identified patients are close contacts of the earlier cases linked to the Palyagoda fish market and the remaining 6 are arrivals from the UAE, Qatar, Italy and the UK. In addition, 408 linked to the Palyagoda cluster and 54 from the prisons cluster were confirmed as active coronavirus cases. Thereby, 674 infections in total have been identified so far. As per statistics, the total number of COVID-19 infections confirmed in the country to date now stands at 41,054. Recoveries from the virus meanwhile climbed to 32,701 earlier, with 650 more patients returning to health. However, 8,166 active cases are still under medical care at select hospitals and treatment centres located across the island. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Sri Lanka has recorded 4 new COVID-19 related deaths, the Director General of Health Services confirmed yesterday. Following the new development, the country's death toll from the virus has escalated to 191 by yesterday, the Government Information Department said. One of the victims was identified as a 66-year-old man from the Pitakotte area. He was moved to the Homagama Base Hospital from the Colombo National Hospital after testing positive for the virus. He died on the 26th of December due to the COVID-19-induced pneumonia. A 75-year-old woman who was residing in Dragama died on December 26 at the Mulleriava Base Hospital after being transferred from the Colombo North Teaching Hospital in Dragama. The cause of death was associated with COVID-19 pneumonia and an infection in the brain. Another woman who was 78 has also died of COVID-19 pneumonia. She was transferred from the Colombo North Teaching Hospital in Dragama to the Mulleriava Base Hospital, where she passed away on the 25th of December. This victim was identified as a resident of the Kadavata area. In the meantime, a 52-year-old woman from Vavuniya also fell victim to the virus on the 26th of December. She had been moved to the teaching hospital in Anuradhapura from the Vavuniya district hospital. The cause of death was recorded as a heart attack triggered by COVID-19 pneumonia. The number of devotees pursuing the Shripada pilgrimage who could stay at the Udamaluva has been limited to 200. The pilgrimage period will commence on the Poya day, which falls tomorrow. The Saman Devalaya statue, which is now placed at the Palmadulla Galpottavela Rajamahavihara, will parade the streets in a procession through the Sri Pallabadala Road, the Hatton Nallatanni, Balangoda and Kurvita roads today, before being placed at the main temple. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts a Ratana Sutra chanting program at island-wide viharas, will organize today's event at the Matugama near Badda Road, Sri Sudarshan Ramaya. This is the 66th chanting program in the series. The chanting program will be aired from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. through the City FM, the commercial service and all regional services of the SLBC. A review of the decision on cremating COVID-19 victims is expected by the Health Ministry in the coming days after research on health aspects is completed. The co-cabinet spokesman, Dr. Ramesh Patrana, said the government has called upon the Health Ministry to address the issue raised by the Muslim community with a humanitarian approach and fairness. Dr. Patrana said the cabinet had not taken a decision to permit the burial of COVID-19 victims of the Muslim community in the Maldives. That's local news.
Knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The practical exam of the GCE O-Level will commence on the 9th of January next year. The Commissioner General of the Examinations Department, Sanat Pujita, says the exams will be conducted till the 11th of January. Meanwhile, Mr. Sanat Pujita also said the paper marking of the GCE Advanced Level Examination will conclude on the 15th of January next year.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, the residents and motorists seriously complain about the sudden excavation work at Pamankara Road joining W.A. Silva Mavatha. This has caused immense difficulties to the motorists and residents who travel along this road. Further, this creates unnecessary traffic congestions during peak hours. The residents also do not know for what reason these excavation works are taking place. This is for the attention of the traffic police and the RDA. When inquired, the relevant officials said that they will immediately probe the arbitrary excavation practices in the city. Accordingly, the relevant officials have found a few places in the Pamankara Vellavatta area are being severely affected due to the various road excavation works. They promise to minimize these activities as much as possible in the coming days. That came to you in Watchlight, and now in World News Headlines. In COVID news, South Africa passes 1 million infections as cases surge. Climate change, extreme weather causes huge losses in 2020. Birmingham memory cop Andy Pope spots 2,000 suspects. South Africa has become the first country on the continent to register more than 1 million COVID-19 cases. It comes just days after authorities confirmed that a new, faster-spreading coronavirus variant had been detected. Some hospitals and medical centres have been reported to have a huge rise in admissions, putting a heavy strain on resources. President Cyril Ramaphosa is widely expected to announce tougher restrictions to prevent the virus from spreading further. The world continued to pay a very high price for extreme weather in 2020, according to a report from the charity Christian Aid. Against a backdrop of climate change, its study lists 10 events that saw thousands of lives lost and major insurance costs. 6 of the events took place in Asia, with floods in China and India causing damages of more than $40 billion. In the US, record hurricanes and wildfires caused some $60 billion in losses. A police officer with remarkable talent for remembering faces has now identified more than 2,000 suspects. West Midlands Police PCSO Andy Pope says he can remember faces for years and has even been able to single out wanted people wearing face coverings. The 43-year-old was recognised by the force's chief constable in 2018 when he passed the 1,000 milestone and is now aiming to reach 2,500 by 2022. And now the headlines of the World News segment once again. COVID news, South Africa passes 1 million infections as cases surge. Climate change, extreme weather causes huge losses in 2020. Birmingham memory cop Andy Pope spots 2,000 suspects. That was world news, and now in development news, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will participate in a discussion on Wednesday in the Kabethigollava Anuradhapura area. The discussion will focus on development activities of the district. The people's representatives, parliamentarians and many other government officials are expected to participate in the discussion. The discussion will also pay attention on health, education, road development, infrastructure and livelihood projects of the district. That was development news, and now in sports news. In cricket, Day 2 of Sri Lanka tour of South Africa, Dean Elgar and Aiden Markram sped to half-centuries. South Africa regained parity in an excellent batting session against a depleted and indisciplined Sri Lankan attack. The hosts lost only the wicket of Markram for 68 of 94 and racked up 135 runs off 27 overs in the second session. South Africa were 317 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of the second day's play in reply to Sri Lanka's first innings score of 396. Apparently, Sri Lanka's 396 a milestone for the highest total against the Proteas by the tourists. And now in soccer news, former Tottenham boss Christian Gross has been appointed as Schalke's 4th coach of a miserable season so far. The 66-year-old who left Saudi Arabia's Ali in February arrived at Tottenham in November 1997 but lasted less than 10 months. Bottom of the German Bundesliga after 13 games, Schalke have already been managed by David Wagner, Manuel Baum and Hugh Stevens this season. That was sports news. And now in business news, National Savings Bank bagged the prestigious awards for its annual report 2019 themed A Momentous Journey to the Future, inspired by an unfolding digital era at various island-wide, regional and international level competitions, International ARC Awards competition, the CMA Excellence in Integrated Reporting Awards and the South Asian Federation of Accountants Best Presented Account Awards. The NSB has been continuously recognized and awarded for our commitment towards the best practices in annual reporting among various corporations, small companies, government agencies, non-profit organizations and associations, as well as agencies from different sectors and industries that took part in the competitions.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The central bank is of the view that the recent increase in volatility of the exchange rate is unwarranted and unacceptable. Accordingly, among other measures, the central bank will take appropriate action aggressively hereafter to contain this volatility in the domestic foreign exchange market. The central bank expects that these actions, together with the continuation of the curtailment of non-essential imports, will enable the rupee to appreciate in the next few days towards the levels of below 185 rupees per US dollar observed in November 2020.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says showery weather conditions are expected to continue further in the northern, eastern, north central and Uva provinces and in the Masale and Nuwara Elia districts. Showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, north central and Uva provinces and in the Masale and Nuwara Elia districts. Heavy showers about 100 millimeters can be expected at some places. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere, particularly after 1 p.m. today. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. Updated announcement on isolation orders in Colombo. Cinemas to reopen under strict safety guidelines. Over 41,000 COVID-19 cases confirmed in Sri Lanka so far. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 death toll hits 191. The pilgrimage period will commence on the Poya Day, which falls tomorrow. The police requests the people in the isolated areas to adhere to the quarantine rules and regulations and cooperate with the health authorities. In news overseas, COVID South Africa passes 1 million infections as cases surge. In sports news, South Africa make merry on a depleted Sri Lankan bowling attack. That concludes this news broadcast.